So today is Wednesday morning, November 6th, and it's 2024, about 10 a.m. in the morning. I have been thinking to make the video for the last couple of hours, but I kind of kept getting distracted. Also at the same time, was thinking through a lot of things, so eventually it took me a while to make it, but I definitely wanted to make the video because this is my part of consistency, and consistency with creating the habit of practicing mindfulness, practicing to keep the focus on when I talk about our bad side and the good side, to keep the focus on the good side so this grows, right? So in the United States, if you're here in the United States, or even if you're not, you probably know there was election here yesterday. And so with the election, there was a lot going on, and with the results, half the country is feeling certain way, and the rest half is feeling differently. And so people who are feeling happy, of course, there's no problem with that for them. But if people are feeling sad for them, it's focusing on the things that you can control, focusing on the things that are good, or focusing on the things that you want is what will get you out of the mindset of what's not working, or what could happen, what should, the worry about the future is not going to get us to anything. So I have some affirmation type of thing, about 20 or so. I have it printed over there. I have had it since, I think, 2017, 2018. So it's been a while, 6-7 years. And I look at it every morning. It has become such a habit. It's in a way, very, very good habit, I would say, because I brush my teeth and then I look at those affirmations, and there I have a line. I mean, these are not mine. I pulled from YouTube, and one of them is something like, today I commit to focus on improving one thing, or today I have this commitment. I forgot the exact line. It's kind of funny that I've been looking for through all these years, but there are like many, 20 or so. But basically the commitment to continue to do something. And over the years, usually I would focus on one thing and hone on it for a while. And for the longest time, I had this about being kind, being compassionate. That was the commitment. And I think that I have ingrained in me pretty deep, because I have been focusing on it for a while now. So this morning, as I read through the commitment, something came to my mind that I wrote it down next to it, that focus. And recently I have been focusing on that message a lot, like either from Tony Robbins or from other conversation with friends. It's about focus, right? Where we focus is our feeling goes. If we are focusing on the good, our feeling will be naturally good. And sometimes it may not happen right away, but over time, you kind of keep training your mind. And yesterday, somebody commented on one of those videos where I was talking about focus equals feeling, and I shared some stories. And for me, the stories are, I don't really think of it ahead as I start talking in my daily life, the things that happen, I share. So somebody said that in the comment that I explained it very easily. The even though it seemed a complicated subject or something of that sort, he wrote it very nicely, and thank you for that if you're watching this video, because these are the things that really inspires me, because we all can make a difference in the like, you know, the little world around us that we have. Even though there are 8 billion people in the world, we may have, you know, on a regular basis 5, 10, 20, 100, or how many ever people we meet on a regular basis, daily, weekly, monthly, and you know, these are the people, they are in our sphere of influence, and we all have the power to leave the world a little bit better place than we found it. We all have the platform or the option to influence 8 billion people, or 1 billion, or even 1 million. But even if we can influence 10 people to be kind, be nice, and then they can go and influence others, that still counts. Even one person counts, right? So anyway, so the message I wrote is focus equals feelings equals frequency equals forgiveness. All F word, all good F words. Focus, feeling, frequency, forgiveness. All of this helps us to move away from the bad and focus on the good, because it's all in our minds and the thoughts. We can, when we are worried about something, that what's gonna happen and how things will unfold, it is all still in our thought. We are worrying about something that has not happened yet. And yes, we got to be preparing for the future. We got to think through things so that we can prepare. But at the same time, it is important to not fully consume our mind with the worry. And a friend really said very nicely this morning that, you know, we can be the light to our kids, and in this type of situation, because especially for girls, little girls, could be a little confusing times. And so she and I were texting that, you know, it's so important for little girls to keep believing in themselves. And I loved how the way she said it. And also for our reminders, it said that, like, you know, as a little girls, they follow you, they mimic you, and as mothers, in some way, you know, as a little girl, they follow what the moms are doing more, and I think as a boy, they follow the dads more. So, you know, follow meaning, you know, how resilient we are, how strong we are in the face of difficulty, how we cope, how we respond to challenging situations. So they see us up close. You know, the bigger stages, especially girls when they grow up, they understand the bigger stage, but when they're young, they don't really understand what's happening in the big stage much, but they see their moms, their big sisters or other women in their life, how they're reacting and responding, and then they're learning. They're like sponges, right? They soak it in. Yeah, so it's a mixed morning for many Americans. Anyway, moving away from that topic, for myself, I know that I have made some progress, and probably part of that why I am feeling a lot more self-control over me and my emotions, because sometimes when you get knocked down so many times that what is that thing that this toys it reminds me when I was young. I didn't have that. A kid next door, and I was like 10 or so. No, not 10, maybe 7 or 8. And a kid next door, he was like 3, 4 years old. So he had this big doll thingy. It's not doll, but something like that, like a figure. And it was filled with air, and there was a bottom thing, like a heavy thing, and it said, I still remember, it said hit me. And then you push the doll thing. It's not really a doll, because it was more like a thing that boys could play or girls could play, but anyway, so you hit it and then it would get up, right? So you hit it and it would get up. So it's funny, in some way, when I think of resilience, it reminds me of that back when I was, I don't know, 8, 9 years old. Basically, I was Alice's age, my daughter Alice's age back then. And it's interesting how something like that can stick with your mind. And when I think of resilience, it is that, like, sometimes when you get knocked down so many times that you can't count. And I remember a few weeks ago, I was reading an article, and then they said that sometimes frequent failures can make you more resilient. So yeah, when you go through so much in life, then you do become more resilient, because you have no choice. You just get up and pick yourself up and get going, keep going, keep going. And now, is that fair in comparison to someone's life who didn't have to get back up as much, who had things ready for them many a time? Well, we're not supposed to compare our lives with others, right? We are supposed to compare our life from the day prior to today just with ourselves, because when we compare, that's when all the challenging emotion comes from. Also, we are not supposed to criticize, judge, or blame others for things. We're supposed to see our life as an observer, like a movie playing where we are the main character. It is easier said than done, for sure, but that is what can help us to feel more at ease and have peace in our lives. Like Wayne Dyer says, or said, because he died, I talk about it a lot, that this is an art school for all of us. We come here to learn. So every experience in our life, good or bad, there is always a lesson. And if we look at it that way, then life can be less painful, and there's always something to learn. I mean, good things, of course, teaches us a lot of times the value of community, the value of, doing good things, and sometimes when challenging things happen, if we always look at it as it's a opportunity for growth, and a lot of time it's opportunity for growth for our mindset, right? So when we think about our physical endurance and increasing our stamina, going to gym, losing weight, it's easy to see because it's tangible. But our mindset, it's intangible. But the growth that can happen from our making a more resilient mind is more powerful than our physical body, because our physical body always has a limit, and our mind, when you think about the growth potential of our mind, there is no limit to it. Because in life, every experience that we have from the time we're born, from the day until the day we die, there is always learning lessons that we can learn from every experience that we have. And it's like in our career, in my 20 years of career, and even for many of you, if you're watching this video, that the biggest lessons, the growth of our mindset, or either from people, leadership position, or whatever position that you have, is the biggest lessons we learn are from those hardest time, than when we were working under pressure, or working under tight deadline, or something that seemed impossible and we made it happen. At least for me, I know those are the areas or times I really have the good stories that I encourage myself with. I find that very motivating, especially on the days when it seems challenging. But the other years are just regular years. Now we all do need breaks. Now, if all my 20 years was like that, I probably would be like, oh my God, that's enough, right? But that's the beauty of life, that we don't always have that, and it's a cycle. Nothing is permanent. The good things are not permanent. The bad things are also not permanent. So remembering that can also motivate us sometimes, and focusing on the little things, especially when the big outer world may seem really out of control. Focusing on our day-to-day, what we can still do our day-to-day things, like going to the gym, or cook your food, eat what you want to eat, and look at the blue sky, the sun. And I went out in the deck and did a little bit of my mindfulness practice that I do most of the days. I really focused hard on if I could smell anything, and the sound, the birds chirping, and the colors. I was soaking it in, and that's what sometimes can ground us to the present moment and get us out of those big things and focusing on those little things, because sometimes focusing on the little things can give us peace, right? Sometimes it's important that we focus on the big things, and of course the goal that we set, like in my case would be half a marathon that I want to run by next year. I have been progressing little by little by little, and on a particular day or on a particular week, I can focus only on the little progress. If I think that, oh, by next week I want to run the marathon, half a marathon, it won't be possible. It builds patience to keep doing little by little, and same thing with other kind of progresses that we want to make. If we set a big goal, that big goal takes time. We have to break it in smaller chunks to get there. So yeah, I think off camera I do a little, the usual intention setting, visualization, gratitude and affirmation, all of that. I'm feeling a little tired today, but that is probably from last night. I slept less because I am, what is the term they call, political junkie? So I followed the politics, the news for a while. I was trying to see what's going on. So yeah, well, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and every day is a fresh start. You gotta remember that. And again, since this country right now is going through that some people are happy and some people are very happy, some people are very sad. It's very less people are probably in between. So if you're very happy, no problem. If you're very sad, just focus on the little things, and focus. The focus is the key. That focus equals feeling. How Tony Robbins would say, focus equals feeling. And keep focusing on the thing that brings you joy, the little things, and that will get you through the days, the weeks, and months ahead. And life still goes on. Life will go on no matter what. And try to inspire the people around you. That is our world. I mean, in the bigger scheme of things, there are a lot of things that's gonna happen, but on our day-to-day life, what matters is the people we surround ourselves with, the people how we interact with. And our outer world is the reflection of inner world, generally speaking. Sometimes there would be situations that you're nice to a person, but you're not getting the same response, and then it's our own decision. Do we keep doing that, or do we just move away from that person? Because you still want to be around people who are positive, who uplifts you, and you do the same for them. And sometimes it's normal for people to be sad, and then you help them, and that's part of it. But then if it becomes an ongoing thing, then you got to reassess that. That's also very, very important, how they would say in this a lot of self-help books and things like that. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna finish the video, and I will make another one tomorrow morning, unless later on I make any short ones, which I don't know. It's kind of random when I make the short videos, but I'll be back tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful day.